Hello, everyone, and welcome back to English Speakology 2.0. I'm Ryan, and I'm here with Alex. Today, we have a very interesting and useful topic for you.
Hi, everyone. Today, we are going to talk about how to talk about your hobbies in English. Hobbies are activities you enjoy in your free time.
That's right. Talking about hobbies is very common in daily conversation. People often ask about hobbies when they meet someone new.
For example, someone might ask, "What do you like to do in your free time?" This is a very common question.
You can answer in a simple way. You can say, "I like reading," or "I enjoy playing football."
Both "I like" and "I enjoy" are good phrases. They are easy to use and sound natural.
You can also say, "One of my hobbies is photography." This sounds a little more advanced, but it is still simple.
Let's start with indoor hobbies. Indoor hobbies are activities you usually do inside your home.
Reading is a very popular hobby. You can say, "I like reading books in my free time."
You can add more details. For example, "I enjoy reading mystery novels." That tells people what kind of books you like.
You can also say, "Reading helps me relax." This explains why you enjoy this hobby.
Another common hobby is watching movies. You can say, "I like watching movies on the weekend."
If you want to give more information, you can say, "I prefer action movies," or "I'm interested in romantic films."
Interested in is a very useful phrase. You can say, "I'm interested in history," or "I'm interested in science fiction."
Now let's talk about listening to music. You can say, "I love listening to music."
You can add, "I usually listen to music before I sleep." This gives more context.
You can also say, "Music makes me feel happy." That explains your emotion.
Now let's move to creative hobbies. Creative hobbies include painting, drawing, writing, and cooking.
You can say, "I enjoy painting in my free time," or "I like drawing portraits."
If you write stories, you can say, "I like writing short stories." That sounds interesting and personal.
Cooking is also a hobby for many people. You can say, "I enjoy cooking new recipes."
You can add, "Cooking helps me relax after a long day." This shows your feeling.
Now let's talk about outdoor hobbies. Outdoor hobbies are activities you do outside.
For example, "I like going for a walk in the park." That is simple and clear.
You can also say, "I enjoy hiking in the mountains." Hiking means walking in nature.
Another popular hobby is playing sports. You can say, "I play football every weekend."
Or "I go to the gym 3 times a week." This shows how often you do your hobby.
Frequency is important in conversation. You can say, "I usually play tennis on Sundays."
You can also say, "I sometimes go swimming." Sometimes shows that you do it, but not regularly.
Now let's talk about learning hobbies. Some people enjoy learning new skills.
You can say, "I'm learning how to play the guitar." That shows personal development.
You can also say, "I'm taking a photography class." Taking a class is a great hobby.
If you enjoy languages, you can say, "I'm learning English in my free time." That is very useful.
Now let's imagine a conversation between two people meeting for the first time.
"Hi, Alex. What do you like to do in your free time?"
"I like reading and cooking. What about you?"
"I enjoy playing basketball and watching movies."
"That sounds fun. How often do you play basketball?"
"I play twice a week with my friends."
This conversation is simple but natural.
Now let's talk about how to explain why you like your hobby.
You can say, "I like painting because it helps me relax."
Or you can say, "I enjoy running because it keeps me healthy."
Because is a very important word. It connects your hobby to your reason.
You can also say, "It's a great way to spend my free time." That is a very common sentence.
Now let's talk about hobbies you did in the past.
You can say, "I used to play the piano." Used to shows a past habit.
For example, "I used to collect stamps when I was a child."
If you stopped a hobby, you can say, "I don't do it anymore."
For example, "I used to swim a lot, but I don't do it anymore."
Now let's talk about new hobbies.
You can say, "I recently started gardening." Recently means not long ago.
Or "I just started learning how to cook." That shows something new in your life.
Now let's talk about hobbies you want to try.
You can say, "I want to learn how to dance." This shows future plans.
Or, "I'm thinking about starting yoga." Thinking about shows an idea.
Now let's talk about describing your level.
You can say, "I'm a beginner." That means you just started.
Or you can say, "I'm not very good at it, but I enjoy it." This is honest and friendly.
If you are skilled, you can say, I'm quite good at playing chess.
Or you can say, I've been playing for many years. This shows experience.
Now let's talk about group hobbies.
You can say, I like spending time with my friends.
Or we often play board games together.
Together is a useful word for hobbies you do with others.
Now let's imagine a longer conversation.
What are your hobbies, Alex?
I enjoy reading and hiking. Reading helps me relax, and hiking keeps me active.
That's interesting. How often do you go hiking?
I usually go once a month.
Do you go alone or with friends?
I usually go with friends. It's more fun that way.
That sounds great.
What about you?
I like playing the guitar and watching documentaries.
How long have you been playing the guitar?
I've been playing for about 5 years.
That's impressive.
Thank you. I practice a little every day.
Now let's talk about common hobby vocabulary.
Practice means to do something again and again to improve.
Improve means to get better at something.
Skill means ability.
Talent means natural ability.
Now let's talk about free time expressions.
You can say, in my free time, I like to paint.
Or, during the weekend, I enjoy cycling.
These phrases help you start your answer naturally.
Before we finish part 1, let's review some useful sentences.
I like reading. I enjoy playing football. I'm interested in photography.
I usually do it on weekends. It helps me relax. I recently started learning.
These sentences are simple and easy to use in real conversations.
Let's start with comparing hobbies. Sometimes people ask, which hobby do you like more? This is a good opportunity to use comparison sentences.
For example, you can say, I like reading more than watching TV. That clearly shows your preference.
You can also say, I prefer swimming to running. Prefer is a very useful word in English.
Another example is, I enjoy outdoor activities more than indoor activities. This sentence sounds natural and clear.
Now let's talk about explaining how you started your hobby. People often ask, how did you get into that hobby?
You can answer, I started when I was a child, or my friend introduced me to it.
Introduce means to show something new to someone.
For example, my brother introduced me to photography. That explains how your hobby began.
You can also say, I became interested in it during high school. This shows a specific time in your life.
Now let's talk about time and experience. You can say, I've been playing the piano for 3 years.
For example, I've been painting since 2020. Since is used for a specific starting time.
You can also say, I spend about 2 hours a week on my hobby. That explains your routine.
Now let's talk about inviting someone to join your hobby. This is very useful in real conversations.
You can say, would you like to join me sometime? That sounds friendly and polite.
Or, you should try it. It's really fun. That is more casual.
For example, I'm going hiking this Saturday. Would you like to come with us?
The other person might say, that sounds interesting, or I'd love to join.
If someone invites you, you can say, that sounds great, or I'm not sure if I'm free, but I'll let you know.
Now let's talk about describing your favorite hobby in more detail.
For example, my favorite hobby is photography. I love taking pictures of nature.
You can continue by saying, I usually take photos in the morning because the light is better.
You can also say, it helps me see the world in a different way. This adds a personal touch.
Let's give another example.
My favorite hobby is playing football. I play with my friends every weekend.
It keeps me active and healthy. It also helps me reduce stress.
Reduce stress means to feel less pressure or tension.
Now let's talk about hobbies that help you grow.
You can say, learning languages is my hobby. It helps me communicate with people from different countries.
Or, reading improves my vocabulary. Improve means to make something better.
You can also say, cooking has improved my creativity. This connects your hobby to personal growth.
Now let's imagine a longer conversation between two friends.
Ryan, what do you usually do in your free time?
I like playing the guitar and watching documentaries.
That's interesting. Why do you like playing the guitar?
Because music relaxes me. It also helps me express my feelings.
How often do you practice?
I practice almost every day, even if it's just for 20 minutes.
That's impressive. I wish I could play an instrument.
It's never too late to start. You should try it.
Might think about it.
Now let's talk about talking about hobbies in job interviews. Employers sometimes ask about hobbies.
You can say, in my free time, I enjoy reading and exercising. That sounds balanced and positive.
You can also explain how your hobby helps your skills. For example, playing team sports has improved my teamwork skills.
Or, writing blogs has improved my communication skills.
Now let's talk about unusual hobbies.
If you have a unique hobby, you can say, my hobby is collecting vintage coins.
You can explain, I find it fascinating because each coin has a story.
Fascinating means very interesting.
Another example is, I enjoy building model airplanes. That sounds specific and interesting.
When you talk about unusual hobbies, people often ask questions. Be ready to explain clearly.
Now let's talk about hobbies you share with family.
You can say, my father and I enjoy fishing together.
Or, my sister and I often bake cakes on weekends.
Sharing hobbies with family can strengthen relationships.
Now let's talk about seasonal hobbies.
For example, in summer, I like swimming. Or in winter, I enjoy skiing.
You can also say, during the holidays, I like traveling. This shows variety in your hobbies.
Now let's talk about stopping a hobby.
You can say, I stopped playing basketball because I injured my knee.
Or, I don't have enough time for that hobby anymore.
Time management is important when you have many interests.
Now let's practice a full conversation.
Hi, Alex. Do you have any hobbies?
Yes, I enjoy gardening and reading.
That sounds relaxing. How did you start gardening?
My grandmother taught me when I was young.
That's nice. What do you like most about it?
I like watching the plants grow. It makes me feel calm.
How often do you garden?
Almost every weekend.
That's great. I enjoy cycling.
Really? How often do you cycle?
I usually cycle twice a week.
Do you cycle alone?
Sometimes alone, sometimes with friends.
Now let's talk about expressing passion.
You can say, I'm passionate about photography. Passionate means you love something deeply.
Or, I'm really into fitness these days. Really into means very interested.
You can also say, it's one of my biggest interests.
Now let's talk about making your answer longer and more detailed.
Instead of saying, I like music, you can say, I love listening to music, especially pop and jazz. I usually listen to music while I'm working.
This makes your conversation more interesting.
Before we finish, let's review important phrases.
I like, I enjoy, I'm interested in, I prefer.
I've been doing it for, I started when, it helps me.
These phrases will help you talk about your hobbies clearly and confidently.
Talking about hobbies is a great way to connect with people.
When you share your interests, you build friendships and improve your speaking skills.
Thank you for joining us on English Speakology 2.0.
Keep practicing, keep learning, and keep talking about your hobbies in English.
See you in the next episode.
Goodbye, everyone.